sort of the fragility of human civilization. And if you study history, I think you realize that there's a rise and fall to every civilization. Every civilization has sort of a lifespan. So we want us to last as long as possible.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Support this great content by hitting the Cash App and by joining the Patreon.
And guys, we have Elon Musk back at it. The rise and fall of humanity. And that's right, AI is supposed to save you. And guys, we know it's the opposite. We already know the plan for the fourth industrial revolution. They want the machines to take over. And if you notice something around the C word, guys, the employees received the power again while the employer were trying to find workers. But guys, again, we know that was all part of the plan because now it's going to reverse. Now the employers are back in control and we know they're going to put the machines in humanity's place, but act like the people don't want to work, and we know that's the reason why you're going to have the universal basic income, that free money airdrop. But little do the people know that money is going to be programmable, telling you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And we have Elon Musk speaking about regulation. And guys, we know these politicians are paid and bought for. And with all this data these corporations have collected, they know you better than you know yourself. But then, guys, they turning it over to AI where they can use it against you. If humanity doesn't wake up, there's definitely going to be the rise and fall of humanity. But if they wake up, we will be able to control the robots, algorithms, and drones. Remember, this technology can be used for good or evil. Guys, we've seen enough cartoons, Marvel movies to know if the good in humanity is able to put their hands on this technology, it will free the minds of the people and will be able to be used for good. But if this technology stays in evil hands, humanity is going to run into transhumanism. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
I think the key point was really that it's important for us. It's important for us to have a referee, just as you have a referee in a sports game, or all sports games, and that the games are better for it to ensure that the players obey the rules, play fairly. I think it is important for similar reasons to have a regulator, which you can think of as a referee, to ensure that companies take actions that are safe and in the interest of the general public.
Did you tell them that AI is a double-edged sword?
Yes.
And what did you mean by that? Can you explain that?
Well, the metaphor?
Yeah, I mean,
well, if you have a sword with two sides,
one
side can get you, even though you're trying to get something with the other side.
When you're telling the senators that, though,
that's how it works.
What do you want them to take away?
I think it's more important to make sure your hilt is also you have a hilt, not a sharp thing.
Yeah. What do you think how do you think they took the message that you brought to them?
Well, I think it was very civilized discussion, actually, among some of the smartest people in the world. So I thought Senator Schumer did a great service to humanity here, along with support of the rest of the Senate. And I think I think something good will come of this. I think this meeting may go down in history as being very important for the future of civilization.
Do you think some legislation is going to come out of this?
Probably. I'm not sure what the time frame of that is, but
yeah.
The legislative process is not a swift one.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think things will go in the right direction generally. Senator Schumer or Leader Schumer did ask everyone to raise their hands in the room to see if they were in favor of AI regulation, and I believe almost everyone did.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign.
Do you think any of the tech CEOs left and changed their minds? Do you think they were changed by anything they heard from the Senate side?
Well, I can't read their mind, but judging by the fact that they put their hands up when asked if they believed that some regulation is in order, I think I think it's clear that there's a strong consensus, overwhelming consensus that there should be some AI regulation, that it would be in the best interest of the people to do so. And I think we'll probably see something happen. I don't know on what time frame, or exactly how it will manifest itself.
Yeah, that's the question. Is what were they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, there's clearly, we've created regulatory agencies before, and actually just recently, just before leaving, made the point that, while our regulatory agencies are not perfect, and I deal with regulators on a very frequent basis, with automotive, communications with Starlink, and then FAA with rockets. So I've had a tremendous amount of interaction with regulators for a couple decades at least. And while regulators are not perfect, there's no regulatory agency that I'm aware of that I think we should, at the federal level at least, that we should delete.
Yeah. Do you think there should be a department of AI or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. Perhaps a department of AI. Yeah. Probably, let's say, I think the probability of there being some sort of AI regulatory agency that stands on its own, similar to the FAA or FCC, is likely at some point.
You think so?
I think so. Now, the reason that I've been such an advocate for AI safety in advance of sort of anything terrible happening is that I think the consequences of AI going wrong are severe. So we have to be proactive rather than reactive. In the past, if you take, say, and I'm being somewhat late for, speaking of regulators, sure. I'm a little late for the FAA. I'm meeting with the FAA.
We don't want to hold you up.
I'm not sure, but if you take the example of say, seatbelts. Seatbelts were opposed by the auto industry for a very long time, even though the data was very clear that they're safe, that they radically improve deaths and injuries. So, we don't want to be in that situation where we're fighting regulations, even though there's a safety thing. We can't wait for millions of people to die in auto accidents. As and it's important to just elevate the question here. The question is really one of civilizational risk. So it's not like one group versus another, one group of humans versus another. It's like, hey, this is something that's potentially risky for all humans everywhere. It's very important to understand that.
Is there an equivalent of
Do you think that Congress is sufficiently ready to regulate AI?
No, not yet. No, the sequence of events will not be jumping in at the deep end and making rules, but it starts with insight. In fact, this is actually how all of the regulatory bodies have been formed, I believe, is you start with a group formed to create insight, to understand the situation. Then you have proposed rulemaking. You'll get some objections from industry or whatever. And then ultimately you get sort of a consensus on rulemaking. That rulemaking then becomes law or regulation.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, well, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate. Not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.